Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to your morning yoga practice. Let's get started in a standing position. So, having your feet grounded, take a moment to relax your shoulders down, close your eyes, and just focus on your breath. But at the same time, I want you to feel the muscles within your body. Feel your feet touching the mat. Feel your toes and your ankles. Bring your palms forward in your mountain pose and bring your spine nice and tall. Prepare the mind for this practice. We can be so busy in the morning and our mind can have a million thoughts. Let's come back to the present moment and enjoy this beautiful practice. Slowly bring your hands to your waist and bring your feet about hip width apart. We're going to bring our arms all the way up to the ceiling or sky. Push our hips forward slightly and reach up as you look up. Nice stretch, a morning stretch. And then grabbing your hands, flip your palms and straighten your elbows, bringing your shoulders back, head up. Again, squeezing the core, your glutes, your legs. Take an inhale, and then on your exhale, float yourself down into your forward fold. Take a breath in here and then slowly relax. You could have your knees bent. It is the morning, you can feel quite stiff. So have a slight bend in the knees and then rocking from side to side, maybe bending one knee or the other. And let's take 3 intentional breaths here while we maybe move our fingertips to the top of the mat, focusing on bending at the hip creases. Go ahead, drop your head and shake it from side to side. You can have your eyes closed or open. And then holding your forward fold, reach your fingertips. Try to get as flat back as you can. Take one more breath. And then bend the knees, slowly rise to stand, 1 vertebra at a time. And then reach your arms all the way up once more. Pushing your hips forward, maybe a little back bend. And then hands to heart center, back into your mountain pose. Lifting your arms all the way up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Dropping your head, halfway lift, bringing your palms up onto your shins, flat back. Lower down, forward fold. Dropping the head, walking out your knees, your feet, one more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees and stepping back into your high plank position. Squeezing the belly in, squeezing in the core. And then dropping the knees down to the mat, release the toes, come into a quick child's pose, dropping your head, rock from side to side. And then rolling up, come into your cat-cow. So starting with your cat, dropping the belly, look up. Inhale. Exhale, curve the spine. Flip onto your toes and then come up into your downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here, long breaths. You could have your elbows and knees bent a little bit. Maybe swaying your hips from side to side. Feeling your fingertips being pressed into the mat. And then bring your feet a little bit closer together, roll into your high plank position, and then float your knees down and your belly all the way down to your mat. Coming up into our cobra, bring your fingertips just to the outside of the mat to start lifting up, cobra pose. and lower. Lifting up and lower. One more time, lift up and lower. Bring your hands a little bit closer together, flip onto your toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Pushing your heels into the mat. Take one more breath. Lifting your heels and then lower. Lifting your heels on your toes and lower. One more time, we're gonna jump to the top of the mat, lifting the heels, bend the knees, little jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up, look up. Deep breath in. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Taking the right foot, step it back, low lunge position. Release the back toe, bring your arms all the way up. Sink deep into the hips. Lifting your arms to the sky, palms facing in. And then lower your hands all the way down, flipping the back toe. Come into your runner's lunge. Lift your left arm up for a twist. And then dropping the left hand down, taking the left leg, swing it back into your high plank position. Knees or toes, chaturanga down. Upward dog or cobra. To downward facing dog. One quick breath here. Lifting the heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Picking up the left foot this time, send it back, low lunge. Dropping the back knee, release the toe, bring your arms all the way up, sinking the hips low. Relaxing the shoulders. And then dropping the hands down, flipping the toes, straightening the back leg, bring the right arm up for a twist. Right hand goes down, right foot swings back into your high plank position, and then hips high, downward facing dog. Bringing the right foot up, three-legged dog, and then bending the right knee, open up the hip, keeping your shoulders square, and then lower. Left leg goes up, three-legged dog, and then bending the left knee, open the hip. Take one breath and lower. Lifting your heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up, look up. And then lower your hands down. Take a moment in your Tadasana, rolling your shoulders back. Bringing your arms all the way up to the sky, picking up your left knee, sending it back, warrior one. Sinking down deep, bring your arms all the way up. And then open up, warrior two. Bending the front knee. Flipping both palms, reach up, look up, straighten the front leg. And lower, warrior two. Flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Inhale and lower. One more time. Flip both palms, straighten the front leg, look up, reach up. Lower down, warrior two, cartwheel the arms, come into your high lunge position, your runner's lunge, step back and flow it out. Plank position, chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, to downward facing dog. Lifting the heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up, look up, and then lower your hands all the way down. Picking up the right foot, this time bring your arms up, step it back, warrior one. Reaching the arms up, bending the front knee, and then open up warrior two. Bending deep, flipping both palms, reach up, look up, straighten the front leg. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Flipping both palms, reach up, look up. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. One more time, flipping both palms, reach up, look up, extending the front leg, and then lower down warrior two, cartwheel the arms, flow it out. We go from our runner's lunge, high plank, knees or toes, chaturanga, upward dog, to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. You can always go into child's pose. If you need a little recovery, it's still working the body. Lift the heels, bend the knees, jump, hop, or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand, reach up. And then float your hands all the way down, dropping your hands all the way down to your mat. Bending your knees, step back into your high plank position, into your downward facing dog. 1 breath here, and then we're gonna bend the knees, hover the knees. A little bit of core strength in the morning. And then pushing your hips high, come into your downward facing dog. We're gonna do this 2 more times. Dropping the knees, hover over the mat, and then hips high, downward facing dog. Last time, dropping the knees, let them hover. Squeeze the belly button in, and then hips go high, downward facing dog. Bringing the left leg to the ceiling, 3-legged dog, and then bending the left knee, and then stepping it through your hands, coming up into your crescent lunge, bringing your arms all the way up. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, reach for the sky. Then lower all the way down, flow it out. Stepping the left foot back, high plank position, chaturanga, upward dog, to downward facing dog. Right leg goes up, 3-legged dog, bending the left knee, stepping it through, coming up into your crescent lunge. Bring your arms all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, sink deep. Dropping your hands down, flow it out. Stepping it back, high plank position, chaturanga, upward dog, to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. And then lifting your heels, bend your knees, jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. And then bending your knees, come right into your chair pose. Bring your arms all the way up, sinking deep. Bring your hands to center, crossing over. So we're coming in for a twist. So we're taking our right elbow to our left knee. And then back to center, switching sides. Come back to center, placing your hands onto the mat, and then slowly come into your downward facing dog. Take a little breath here, go a little bit deeper, maybe grabbing onto your toes with your peace fingers, pulling yourself into your knees. From here, we're going to step back into our pyramid pose. So take your right foot to start and step it back, melting your body over your left leg. Really stretching the hamstrings here. Good. Picking up the back leg, bring it to the top of the mat, your forward fold, and switch sides. So now stepping the left foot back, pyramid pose. Now picking up the back foot, bringing it at the front, forward fold, and then slowly rise to stand, reach up, inhale, little back bend, then bring your hands to center, flow your hands down, take a second in your Tadasana, take one deep breath in, good. We are going to open up our legs into our wide-legged forward fold. Really bring your legs out as wide as you possibly can on your mat, bending our knees, opening up. We're going to open up the hips here. We're going to bend one knee and then the other. Lifting our toes off of the mat as we move from side to side. So our straight leg toes will be lifted. Walking your hands over to the left side and then the right. Come back to center. Come into a flat back. Heel toe your feet all the way. A little wider than hip width apart. And then slowly rise all the way up. Bring your hands onto your waist. You're going to lean over towards the left side for a side bend. And then we're going to drop down a circular motion, dropping our head down and over to the right. And then come up. Dropping over to the right. Coming towards the right foot. All the way down. And up to center. And now for the hips, we're going to push the hips forward, around, so a little bit more hip movement here. Push forward, reach back, and then arms go out to the side, reaching over, doing a side stretch over towards the left, back up to center, over towards the left foot or the right. Push your hips forward. And then back up to center. Come to the top of the mat, bending down, coming to your forward fold, halfway lift. Exhale. Bend both knees, jump back into your high plank position, into our side plank. So rolling over towards the right side, you have your left hand on the mat, reaching up high. Right arm up, really open up the chest here, lifting the hips high. And then dropping the right hand down, switching sides, leaning over, stacking your feet. Open up the chest, and then drop it down. And then dropping your knees wide on the outer edges of your mat, sinking deep into your wide-legged child's pose. Maybe resting your forehead. Take a good inhale here. And then making your way up. Bring your arms all the way up. Dropping them down, placing the left hand over onto your right knee, looking back for a twist. And then switching sides, taking your right hand over to your left knee, looking back over your left shoulder. Come back to center, bring your knees together, come back up into your downward facing dog in preparation for your pigeon pose. Let's start by bringing the right foot all the way up, three-legged dog, then bending the right knee, taking the right knee behind the right wrist, and then sending our leg back. Sitting up tall, and then floating yourself all the way down to your mat, just taking a moment, focusing on your breath. Try not to sit on your right hip. You want to be centered. And then coming up onto your hands slowly, lift up, reach back. Maybe a little arch. And then sitting back on to your hips, bringing the foot over your knee, and then reaching back for a twist. Come back to center, back onto your knees, and finding your downward facing dog for the other side. Left leg goes up, three-legged dog, bending the left knee, placing it behind your left wrist, and then bringing your foot all the way back. Lifting up, making sure you're centered over that hip, and then floating yourself all the way down. Just focusing on your breath. Feeling this really nice stretch on your hip flexors. One more breath. And then slowly making your way up, pushing your hands in towards the mat. Lift up, lift up. And then carrying that right leg all the way over, crossing it over your knee. Both hips on the mat as you turn around and look for a twist, hugging the knee, the right knee into your chest. Good. And then coming into your Baddha Konasana, your heels and toes together, sitting up nice and tall to start, fluttering your knees out to the side, pulling your body forward. And then bringing your knees up and to the top of the mat and floating yourself down one vertebra at a time. Reaching your arms all the way up, take a deep breath in. Pointing your toes, stretching your arms over your head. And then bending the left knee in for your wind release pose. Flexing both feet. And then extending the left leg, grabbing onto your shins or your ankle. And slowly releasing the left leg down, then picking up your right knee, pulling it into your chest, flexing both feet. And then extending your right leg this time, grabbing on to your shin, ankle, calf, and release it down. Coming up into a bridge, have your feet find the mat. You bring your arms over your head, or down by your side. Lift your hips high. And then placing your hands on your lower back. Come up, we're going to lift up a little higher as we stack our elbows right underneath us. And then try lifting yourself up. And you can bring your knees in towards your head or go into your plow. And then slowly coming up, take a second in your shoulder stand. And then bending your knees, float yourself all the way down. Bending your knees once more, come in for a twist, taking your left leg, cross it over your right, arms out to your side, let both knees fall over to the right. Start to slow down your breathing, maybe closing your eyes. And then bring your knees back up to center, switching sides, taking the right knee, crossing over the left, and letting both knees fall over towards the left side. And we're bending at the waist. And then bringing both knees back up and squeezing your knees in towards your chest. Giving yourself a little bit of self-love as you rock from side to side. And then bringing your legs up to waterfall, arms up, moving your wrists and your ankles, and then floating yourself all the way down for a final pose, our Shavasana. Taking a deep inhalation through the chest, really expanding your lungs here, really taking a moment to open up, taking a deep breath in, and then relaxing onto your mat. Feeling your body melting into your mat. Taking this moment, could be the only planned silence that you have for the entire day. So go ahead and soak it up. Take a moment. If you have a busy day, you can even take this time to just think of 2 or 3 things that you really want to get done today. 2 or 3 things that if you were to complete them, that it would feel like a worthwhile day and a worthy day. A day where you can feel proud of yourself, a day that you could feel gratitude. If you have time to stay here, please do. If you'd like to close the practice with me, just reaching one arm over, coming into your fetal position for a moment. And then pushing yourself up, coming into a comfortable seated position where we can come together and feel this beautiful, calm, and peaceful state that we can now carry and bring forth for the entire day. Take this beautiful, positive energy and share it with all those that you love. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.